Stay low.
Today is all about the PowerStop. There used to be this myth that the PowerStop was unsuitable for the urban climate, that the streets were too rough, the surfaces were just unslidable because they were too inconsistent for a parallel slide. But if you look at a PowerStop and its possibilities, objectively, there's a lot that can be PowerStop that we previously didn't think could be PowerStopped. I'm constantly learning. No, I'm not constantly learning. I'm occasionally learning that I can PowerStop on something that I previously thought was unsuitable. So I set out to find the limits of a PowerStop in this video. My goal was to quantify exactly how much you could get away with. We're going to get to the quantifiable stuff a little later in the video. I'll talk about the various surfaces and a little bit about technique at the beginning of the video. This is not a how-to PowerStop video. This is for people that already have a PowerStop or people that are starting to learn a PowerStop, but you want to know where the limitations of the PowerStop are. You'll probably get great benefit just by watching me execute my PowerStop in its proper form. I didn't include many duds here. It's only because of my ability to stop that I feel so free when I'm floating around the city. It just makes my experience so much safer, more worry-free, knowing that I can stop faster than I can on shoes. For the most part, I can choose where I stop. When I do have to stop on something that's rough or textured, there's no radical difference in form. I will have success in my PowerStop and the slide at the end of it if I am true to my form. How rough can I go? So my first test surface was a little waxier than it was chunky, but it's a little more textured than the typical sliding surface. In this example, you can see my feet are fighting it out a little bit. I do have to hold tight and consciously lock that back underfoot in. The success of my PowerStop is entirely dependent upon how much I can bend that back leg and invert that back skate.
The white sandpaper here. Abrasive, I would say. I don't want to slide out on that. Pretty grippy. Can I PowerStop this? I'm going to try to come in fast and see if it gets slide right away, because this seems really sticky, so I'm going to have to be better.
If I can get a very slanted angle without touching my boot down, all while my foot is basically still underneath me, I have a stable, unshakable PowerStop. This is what makes the PowerStop significantly different than the parallel slide. Both feet are not far out in front of the skater. The back leg still remains supportive. Ideally, it's just a bit ahead of my midline, on the opposite side of my pelvis. I bow that back leg and my body as much as possible to get a well-balanced slant of the lower leg and skate. That was almost a little too much.
Yes, you can PowerStop that. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that.
Most of us know that if you slant your wheels off that narrow center edge, you will displace your weight across a larger surface and get a better slide. The straight wheel is like a knife, a lot of concentrated force digging into the ground below you. If you lay more of your blade down, your edge won't catch and stop you cold. Let's measure exactly how rough of a surface you can PowerStop on. When your wheel is in the slide position, this is the amount of room you have. Any anomaly shorter than this line can be slid across. It doesn't look like much, but it is. Okay, for reference here, a feature with a flush edge as thick as a pen is not going to be PowerStopped with these wheels. Your wheels would stop very quickly, but your body would keep going. As fortune would have it, the perfect way to measure what is stoppable and what is not might actually be in your backpack when you're skating. The skate wrench. I'm holding this a little high, so we know that we can PowerStop a little more than a skate tool. This test tells me I can PowerStop across something at least 6 millimeters high.
So even though it's relatively straightforward, I'm going to call it the puzzle, because it looks like a puzzle. So I'm going to position my Insta360 a little higher here so you can see exactly what I'm stopping on. I love that I can just drop the Insta360 anywhere in the middle of the city and then boom, it's gone. Yes. Of course I can. That was easier than I thought. The last one was harder than I thought. But this just gave me a really consistent, bumpy ride. None of these stick up too much. So as long as I'm trusting that back foot, I'm always going to surf the pavement. It's nice. Shit. I just painted a car like 7 meters away. Tearing the roads up. Yeah, that's not good.
I did replace the divot there. This is a surface with some real variation, but it's the same old thing. Putting all my trust on that back leg and bowing it to give me the angle I need.
That's a hard stop. Yeah. Nice. Okay, this one is guaranteed not to be easy. I hate the surface for skating on. It tires me out. I avoid it whenever I can because it basically sucks. By sucks, I mean it sucks the soul out of me. It's this cobblestone with big wide spaces between it, and I always avoid it when I can.
The space between these bricks sucks so badly that I'll actually drop into them throughout my PowerStop, so it's going to be a jarring slide for me, and you can guarantee that back leg will be working hard. I'm just forcing that back leg to come along with me. And if my back leg gets any more upright than this, my skate would dig in and be left behind, and I would do the splits. And I can't do the splits, so that wouldn't be good. I'm practicing a little back leg trust here in my frustration. And then it is on. So what is too much for a PowerStop? What surface is unslidable? I'd say manhole covers are my limit, the new ones. These stark edges not only cause a lot of friction, but they redirect my skate. I think with a lot of practice and a little more speed this would be possible, but I'm just not willing to slide out onto my hip on a manhole cover. These little sidewalk buttons are possible, but I'm too impatient here as there was a lot of traffic in this area for the first time ever. But by my two hasty attempts, you could tell that the friction would be manageable with a little more practice. Check out my channel if you want more PowerStop tutorials. I think I've done more PowerStop tutorials than anybody else out there. I sincerely hope that this video is able to impact your PowerStop in a meaningful way. And if you found that you got some value from this video, please do subscribe. Okay, that's it. Enough said. Aim high and stay low. Yeah.
Stay low.